Okay, we're good to go.
Oh, great.
We lost Lou. All right, there's no,
We are ready whenever you are.
I think we're ready. Holly, you ready?
Thanks.
Keep changing. And get rid of the sun. There, that's better.
Maybe no one's showing up. It'll be really quick.
Yeah.
Hold on one moment.
I like that service announcement. The meeting will begin.
Right.
soon.
We
Can
need, we
like-
need music.
like a little dial, you know. Just,
Milk dropping into water.
Okay, over.
don't worry, Holly. This is actually going smoother than usual.
Lovely.
Can we approve
I mean, this is pretty
the
good.
minutes without it being live?
We're live. There's just
We are live, yeah.
on YouTube.
Can we approve the minutes and get that going?
Well, we can't start without Laura.
Well,
We lost Ryan now.
Well, that means you're in charge.
So Holly, is this what you thought it would be like?
Oh, and more.
I'm sure the Board of Aldermen meetings are just like this.
You know, I've only had one so far, and it was rather quick. So we have an expectation of very quick meetings. Although I don't know that this one's going to go as quick as the Board of Aldermen meeting.
Have they said anything, Holly, about going back to regular meetings or?
They have said that they are looking into it, but have not confirmed when that will happen.
Okay.
Okay, I have our first presenter here if we want to start the meeting.
Let's get started.
Would you like me to call the roll?
Please call the roll.
Okay, Mr. Arzano,
Here.
Miss Bennis, Mary Beth, are you there?
She's muted.
Oh, sorry, here.
Thank you. Mr. Clark,
Here.
Alderman Even,
Here?
Mr. Forbringer,
Here.
Miss Proust,
here,
and Miss Wright.
Here.
I have Mr. Suku as absent. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Laura. So before we get started, and for everybody here and for everybody online, I want to introduce our new chair, Holly Even. She's going to be observing today, so she can watch how we do things. And then next month, she'll improve on it, and it'll be a much smoother process going forward. But for tonight, she's here, and I imagine We'll still be providing her opinion. I'm just going to be shepherding the project along a little bit as we go. So,
That's correct. Thank you.
Holly, you want to know if you want to say anything or?
No, I'm excited to be a part of this commission, and I look forward to working with you all. And yes, this is my first meeting, so Angela is going to chair the meeting this evening, and I will participate and pick up next month. So thank you.
All right. So with that, first item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes. Is there a call for a motion? Any comments?
I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second,
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Now on to our first bit of business. It's a continuation from last month. It's a new residence at 13700 Clayton Road. Brian, can you explain this project?
Yes, sir. The project is for a new residence at 13700 Clayton Road. At the last meeting, there was a lot of discussion, and the item was continued to this month's meeting. The architect is requesting a little more time to get the final documents together. They've taken the feedback from the previous meeting, and they're flipping the garage and the living space based on the comments at last month's meeting. I think I'll forward you documents to maybe get some feedback tomorrow, but they'll be ready at next month's meeting, so they would request another continuance to June 7th.
okay.
All right, well, if there's no objection to a continuance, is there a motion?
I move to continue.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you very much. On to the next item of business, which is another continuation from last month. The accessory structure at 13659 Mason Heights Road. Do we have a presenter?
Nope.
All
I
right.
muted you, Rob.
Okay, you did. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you
So-
give us your name and all for the record?
Rob Rehnquist, and I'm the architect and builder. Since the last meeting, we have added 2 different elevations with the existing house in the background that was requested. Again, it's a standalone structure, so at the initial time, we did not think that was critical, but it sounded like that's what you guys are looking for, and so it's fine. So we've added that, and then we also revised the landscape plan, which was requested also to clean it up a little bit. And again, all materials for this structure, the garage, pool house, will match the existing house, so it'll blend right within it. And the other thing is the structure is going to be tucked back into the hillside and concealed by the rear hillside from the rear neighbor. And then on both sides, it does have existing large trees for landscaping for buffering also. And it's been approved by the trustees and approved by the neighbors also, as far as that goes. So it pretty much should be it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming back with the additional drawings. I personally think it helps us understand how that new addition is going to fit in with the rest of the house.
Isn't this the first one that you guys have had to review that's kind of a standalone structure garage like this, I thought?
I think we had some the month before, or
Okay.
some more covered patios and such.
Okay.
Um,
And it has been approved by the Board of Aldermen, the conditional use permit.
Okay.
all right. Are there any comments?
No, it looks, thank you, Rob, for doing this. It's very helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, if everyone's good with it. Laura, are there any public comments?
We've received no public comments in regards to this project.
All right. I think based on that, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Rob, thank you for providing additional information. It was very helpful.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next project. 12337 Harflow Lane. It's a new residence that we reviewed last month. I wasn't quite sure why it was coming back other than for the alternate materials. Is that correct, Ryan?
Correct. At that time, they had indicated that they may make a change and that they would resubmit if that was the case. So that's why the item is before you. The architect, I believe, is on the call, and he can fill in more detail about that.
Yeah, this is John Odom, the architect on the project.
Well-
So the only item that we had requested from last time's approval was that we were going to omit the cultured stone wainscoting that was on the front of the house below the windows on what would be the left side, and then kind of a partial on the garage bump out. We are not proposing removing the stone on the fireplace in the rear, which is another rendering I included on that kind of side-by-side comparison of what it would be with the stone wainscoting, and then, of course, without the wainscoting, which is the direction we would like to proceed with for this project. So that is the only change on it, and again, open to discussion on that, but we would like to, at this time, omit what was previously the proposed wainscoting.
Thank you. Any discussion and I'll say for myself, when we first talked about it last month, I wasn't sure about it, but looking at the images side by side, I actually think it looks better without the wainscoting because
I would agree.
it was just such a small portion of the house.
Yeah.
I agree as well.
I agree too.
I'm
Looks,
good with it.
Yep. All right. Laura, any public comment?
No, sir.
Oh, sir.
can I just say one more time, it's going to be a challenge on people building on this lot, so just be really cognizant of people trying to get through there because that road is tiny.
It is, and we discussed that with the ownership afterwards, and they're gonna go around and speak with neighbors before, of course, and any concerns that come up, they don't need to be escalated by any means, but they are going to be aware that they need to keep the street clean and free of traffic and parking, and there are some logistical challenges. You are correct on that with a 12-foot wide street, but they're fully aware of the situation at hand.
I appreciate that.
You bet.
All right. And with that, is there a motion?
I'd like to have a motion to approve.
Second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Great. Well, thank you, John, for coming back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Now on to some new business.
Oh.
A new residence at 1128 Weidman. Do we have a presenter?
Hello, this is Andrew Chow. I'm the homeowner.
Hello, welcome.
And
Thank you.
Tony Chow, the builder, and Andy is also my father. So thank you for allowing us this opportunity to come before you in the consideration of the new home at 1128 Weidman. It's, as I said, my dad's not the most tech savvy, so he's joining us via telephone. But the proposed home is a single-story ranch. It's in the spirit of farmhouse architecture. It's approximately 3,200 square feet. In total, there's 4 bedrooms and 4.5 baths. The main floor consists of 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and the basement will be finished, which will include an additional bedroom and bathroom. As I've mentioned, this is more of a modern farmhouse vernacular, and as a result, we chose to go with white board and batten siding on all 4 sides. There's going to be dark trim accents for trim such as fascia, soffits, in addition to gutters. We will have a black standing seam roof over the front porch, falling in line with the more of the farmhouse, that covered porch look. Underneath that porch, there will be just a hint of some tumbled stone by Earthworks. And the windows will be a Pella black clad, aluminum clad window. In regards to the site.
Tony,
Yes.
could you say a little closer to the mic? You drifted
Oh, I'm
off.
sorry. Did you guys get any of that?
Yeah, some.
Okay.
After the standing seam roof, we lost you.
Okay, I apologize. So the standing seam roof, and I think what I had said next was that there was going to be black Pella aluminum clad windows. In regards to the site is a bit of a challenge. I'm not sure if Ryan got into some of the specifics, but as part of this architectural review consideration, we will also be going in for a variance, which will be conditioned upon, or I should say the building permit will be conditioned upon us receiving a variance for the front yard setback. And Brian, did you go into detail on that?
I sent an email earlier today, Tony, alerting them to that fact, yes.
Okay. So in a nutshell, it's just there's a MSD easement that is, this lot is 115 feet wide, approximately 475 feet deep. And I would say within the first, call it probably 150 feet, there's a MSD easement that runs at an angle. So going from south to north, it's kind of a diagonal where it's closer to Weidman on the south side and starts veering off at an angle further away from Weidman on the north side. So as a result, there's some challenges just in terms of trying to fit a home on that space. There's going to be 2 trees that will be removed. They're both silver maples, and as shown on the landscape plan, both of those trees are in poor condition. One has storm damage, and I think one just in general is in poor condition. I'll provide this opportunity for you to take a look and ask any questions.
Okay, everyone on the board, is there any comments or discussion or?
Can I? So, okay.
Jump in.
First of all, I want to thank you for bringing in a ranch in Town and Country. Many residents are really looking for ranches, so I like seeing this proposed. So I appreciate that. You know, and so this is more of a farm, the new farmhouse type look that you're seeing now.
Correct.
Because I know years ago when they were building those houses, there was some criticism on having all siding. And I think some people on the board maybe remember that. But I understand with this type of architects that you need to make it siding, or how you're showing it.
Well,
Yes.
we did make the change a couple of years ago to get rid of vinyl siding.
Vinyl siding, exactly. Thank you.
And by no means is this vinyl. This will be cement board siding, so much higher quality caliber. And, you know, I think this is a very streamlined look, and it's very popular maybe not so much in town and country, but some of the surrounding areas, it's becoming more and more popular. Probably hinged upon Chip and Joanne.
We just had one right before yours, so.
That was also farmhouse?
Mhm.
Oh, good.
All right, if there's no more discussion, Laura, is there any public comment?
No, Angelo.
Thank you. So, all right, so based on that, I would ask if there's a motion to approve, and I think the approval needs to be based on, contingent on the approval of the easement or the variance.
On setback variance.
So would someone like to make a motion to approve contingent on the setback variance?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Good.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Thank you, Tony, and I hope.
Thank you very much, board as well as staff.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, moving on nicely. Our next house is also a new residence at 275 Point Conway Hill Court. Do we have a presenter? No one wants to present this project?
Lauren, I can't hear you.
Seem to be having some technical difficulties.
I don't see that you're on mute, but for some reason, we're not hearing you.
I assume you can hear us? No? Okay.
You can? Okay.
Maybe your machine is muted, not just the software. Laura, is there a number they can call in?
There is. Let me send it really fast. Lauren and Steve, you may have to call on your phone. Yeah, I just sent you the information for that. The difficulties of Zoom.
Maybe I take back about how convenient this is compared to being face-to-face again.
As with all technology, it's not without its hiccups.
Do you have to let her in or with the phone?
Yeah, it's not showing up in the waiting room. Oh, here it is.
Can you hear us, Laura?
Yes, Lauren, I can hear you now.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I don't know what the problem is, but we can hear each other now. This is a 5,700 square foot new home.
I'm sorry, can you just?
It's a one-story house.
Okay,
With
can you
3
state-
bedrooms and a bonus room on the second floor, and
Laura-
2 bedrooms on the main level. Hold on.
Lauren, do you want to just state your address for the record for us? Your name and address?
It's Lauren Strutman, and it's 16676 Old Chesterfield Road, Chesterfield, 63017.
Thank you.
So
If
this
you
is
want
a
to go
very,
ahead with your presentation.
okay. So this is a very traditional house. It's 1.5 stories. It's the majority of the house is white brick, and we have mostly all brick on the house, white fiber cement siding, black windows, and a gray roof. And as I said earlier, it's about a 5,700 square foot home. We're in compliance with all your codes and regulations, and we do have trustee approval for this project.
All right, thank you. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? No? All right. Laura, was there any public comment?
We've received no public comment.
Okay. It's a very nice house.
All right, so based on that, is there a motion?
Yeah,
Like,
to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second. I'll
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Lauren, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, on to the next one. It's a residential addition at 3031 Regis Drive. Do we have a presenter for that one?
Yes, Brendan Smith, the owner.
Welcome.
Thank you. So it's an existing property. I purchased my grandmother's home who built it in the 1960s, I think. Fairly described as an ugly exterior. It has peach siding in addition to brick. So we're finally doing something to it, and we're proposing a modestly sized patio, 676 square feet. The intention is to match the brick, same shingle on the roof. Trustee approval.
You sure you want to get rid of that peach siding?
It has grandmother approval. Yeah.
Well, I bet she's happy you're not knocking it down, so.
She is.
That's awesome. It's a nice house.
All right, any other discussion, comments, questions? No. Laura, was there any public comment?
No, there was not.
Okay. Based on that, is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, it's a new residence material amendment for 32 Muirfield Lane. Do we have a presenter for that project?
Yeah, this is Lauren Strutman again. And you all unanimously approved adding a covered porch to the back of this home at the February Architectural Review Board meeting. And our clients decided to put windows in the porch. And one other change, the porch was originally siding on the bottom of the porch, and now the whole porch is going to be stone base and masonry. So it's simply adding masonry and adding windows to something that was approved at the February meeting.
I see. Thank you. That helped explain it to me.
Yeah, very much so.
Any comment, discussion?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jake.
Hey, Jake. Laura, any public comment?
No, we've received no public comment in regards to this submittal.
All right. Based on that, does anyone want to make a motion? We got an approval. Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. That's it? Woo.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You can go on for a while if you want, but it's
All right, thank you.
Oh, Jake,
Jake,
your item's next.
Oh, I thought I just got approved.
So,
That
Jake,
would be the easiest approval.
That was the easiest home builder.
you must be
Sorry
here
to
for the
disappoint.
residential edition at 12345 Carberry Lane.
It's actually Carberry Place. I didn't call you, Laura, but I want to let you know that.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Jacob, can you introduce yourself? Are you going to be the presenter?
Yeah, my contractor was supposed. Oh, there's Mike. Mike's here. Yeah, I'm Jacob Whittle. I've lived at Carberry Place since 2012. I represent the neighborhood, and I am the the main guy of the neighborhood. I forget the trustee of the neighborhood. I more or less I'm doing a garage addition to my home. I just need some more garage space. I've had approval by both my neighbors because I am the trustee of the neighborhood, and it's going to match the home exactly as far as architectural brick and cladding. It's going to have an upper loft area inside the garage for another room for my kids and whatnot to play in. I'm going to put a bathroom out there. It's a relatively expensive garage, but I love where I live, and just want to make it look pretty. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you have any questions about the drawings or pictures that I sent, but that's really all I'm really doing.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion, comments?
Will all the trees be left in place?
I have to take down, well, actually, I took 2 trees down before the project began in the middle during kind of COVID about 6 months ago. So, but other than that, I'm leaving all the trees as they are. Yeah. The problem is these oak trees keep dying. I don't know what's going on in town and country, but I've lost 4 trees in the last 5 years. So, but I understand it's only a sweet gum though. This is not an oak tree. These are 2 small sweet gums that are kind of in the property line of the garage. But there are 2 that are still out in front of the front facing of the garage that so it kind of won't lose its look as far as the tree line.
So you're actually having a bed, a room above the garage,
Correct.
just a playroom. No, it won't be a bedroom or.
No, it will not be a bedroom. It's just going to be kind of an area where my kids can go because we have smaller, a smaller ceiling line. So I kind of want an area where when we have company over in the summer, I've done a lot of additions to my backyard. As far, the pool, and I put in a brand new porch about 5 years ago. I spent a lot of money on my outside. But, when in the winter, my family, when we have family members over, we just kind of want another area where we can send the children. And, we're kind of going to use this as like another space for that. And that's why we're going to put a bathroom out there and whatnot. And we own a pool and all that stuff. So it'll just be a nice addition to the home. I think it'll look really good.
Good. I thought it was interesting how you did your garage. We've got a two-story. It was how that's tricky.
It was tricky. The people we bought the house from tried doing it in the back of the house. But if I'm sitting on my back porch, I didn't want to be looking at the back of a garage, and I want to see like we have a basketball hoop and all that. So it'll still feel really genuine as far as just the way it looks, I think. And it's going to make the house look super big from the front, which will, I think gain value for for other homes. I think it's going to look pretty expensive when it's done.
All right. Any other comments, questions? I think I will say, I guess it's a good thing that this is an addition and you're matching the materials, because the caliber of those renderings would not have been acceptable had this not been matching the existing building. But those photos help carry it through.
Yeah, I did my best with trying to know what you guys wanted and needed, but I think it gives it kind of you guys can understand what I'm doing. I mean, if it was a true addition with a lot of architectural features inside, I think I would have done better. But I think you guys can see the gist of it, hopefully.
We can. Laura, was there any public comment?
No, we've received none.
Great. Based on that, do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second? Second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Jacob, enjoy your new garage.
Yay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stay safe.
All right, we're about halfway through. Next up is a new residence at 12917 Topping Estates Court. Do we have a presenter for the project?
And hi, yes, I'm Lucy, the architect. I'm with the home building company.
Welcome. What can you tell us about the project?
Sure. Yeah. So this is a new single family home. It's just over 4,000 square feet above grade. There is a walkout basement on the lower level, which gives way to much more living space. 1.5 story. I'm calling it a contemporary Tudor home. The mix of materials on the front is there's a blend of brick that's called Antique White by Sioux City, with some warm and cool tones. And then we're doing a stucco that's also again off-white, light cream color to complement that. And those two materials turn on the sides, and then the rear we're doing a stucco panel system above a brick wainscot that matches the material of the stucco that's applied on the front and the sides. The one thing I did want to know is we do have trustee approval conditional on the 50-foot setback being accepted. When we submitted with the site plan, the home is set back from the 50-foot, but there was some discrepancy with the trustee board of whether or not the front porch was included in that. And it's my understanding that it's just the face of the home where it's roofed area. So as long as that's approved by the board, then they approve the home.
Ryan, on that setback, is it to the face of the house, or does the porch also need to be set back?
The porch has to be at the 50-foot mark or beyond it. It's included as part of the house. We don't have an encroachment for a porch. We do have for the steps of the porch and the walks. The drawing I'm looking at shows that it's really close. It'll just need to be marked in the field at the 50-foot setback line, that porch.
At the porch, okay.
Right. We'll require a spot survey, a spot foundation survey, just to show that.
Okay,
So that will be sorry, Lucy, that'll be the intent to make sure that the house is as of right, no variance.
definitely. Yeah, and we can move that back as we're required, so.
All right. Yeah, I think that the scans that we have were kind of washed out. I don't know if I was the only one really having a hard time picturing the house.
Can we share this screen? Will that help?
I'm sorry?
Can we share the PDF maybe? Would that help?
I mean, I can show my PDF, but Lucy, I was wondering if maybe you had a better.
Oh, yeah. I could, yeah, it might have. I don't know if I just had this up reviewing beforehand. Can everybody see?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if this appears any darker, but just to scroll down to the material palette that in real time, what we would want to use. So this Sioux City is the brick material. It's like I said, it has a blend of off-white, a little bit of gray, a little bit of, it's just a good blend of some cool and natural tones. And so the stucco color is just a nice complement from that brick variety. And then the windows will be a black window from Pella, and we'll do the siding, the stucco panels, and James Hardy cobblestone, which we're just trying to match with the stucco color and have those complement each other as much as possible. So that's going back to the front that's the design intent.
Right. Thank you, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
So the brick is, I'm not quite sure where the brick comes in. Is that on the bottom?
Yeah, so the brick is on the front elevation. It's on the bottom. Like I mentioned, there's a variety of brick and stucco. And this gable is all stucco. The middle entry gable is all brick, and then we'll take the brick ledge up to the window in between these two gables, kind of break up the facade with the stucco gable, and then do brick on this gable, and then go back to the wainscoting and return that on the sides.
That's helpful. Thank you. Well, how about in the rear of the house?
Sure. And so I'm glad you asked that because, right, so we continue the wainscot on the sides, as I mentioned. Right now, we do carry that 3-foot tall wainscot in the back, just per the requirements that I interpreted that it's necessary. However, we gable and then do brick on this gable and then go back. I'm sorry, what did you say?
It was feedback from somebody else.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. There was we are interested in potentially having this all be stucco panel, just as the brick base. It's not, I guess, not serving a whole lot of purpose, we feel, in the rear of the house, but obviously we default to your opinions. So.
Right. Just to clarify, the code says you have to carry 10% of the front material around the sides and rear. So I think the question is that something that should be adhered to, or can it be all stucco?
I would just say from a longevity standpoint that I don't think you'd want to bring the stucco all the way down to the ground, and having that little bit of brick at the bottom is something that you'll appreciate having in the long term with the house.
You mean because of water, any kind of moisture?
Yeah, and just dirt, and rain splashes the dirt off the ground up onto stucco. It's not
Actually, back here, I know it's a little difficult to see. We're doing the panel, the cement board panel by Hardy. So I don't know if that adjusts your thought on that.
It's the stucco panels.
Exactly. So I don't know if that has better longevity than the stucco
So the back is going to be a hardy board, did you say?
Yes, the back, right, is going to be a hardy panel, and the stucco color that's field applied will match that color.
Now,
I didn't think that Hardy let you bring their products down to grade.
As far as I was aware, I thought they did just it's the regular lap siding, but are you talking about the stucco paneling? As long as there's that 8-inch.
8-inch foundation sticking out.
Right.
So Ryan, tell us again, what is the code for the, it has to be 10%?
The code in the architectural review section states that the primary and secondary material on the front facade of the house, a minimum of 10% of that material shall be on the sides and rear of the house. So if you have brick and stone on as your primary and secondary material, at least 10% on the sides and rear needs to be brick or stone. The rest of it could be siding of some kind, or stucco, or some other material. So in this case, the architect's just seeking the opinion of the board if that 10% is necessary in the rear in this case.
I had asked Ryan earlier, so thank you, Ryan, for.
Yeah, no worries.
So you're asking for permission to vary from the requirements for materials?
Yes. Well, I have your attention. Yeah.
I agree with Angelo that the brick on the backside, I think it creates a more natural stopping point. It'll help with moisture and those sorts of things, but I think it creates a more natural stopping point, so you don't have your verticals just dying into the ground. They're dying into a material, and it's a natural transition.
I tend to agree with that.
Okay, any other discussion?
So with that brick across the bottom, is that going to meet that 10% then of carrying materials? Okay.
I believe it's 13.
And we're okay with going forward with the brick. It was just, when I spoke to Ryan, he had a great idea of bringing it up since you're the.
Like it.
All right.
But that's how it was originally designed with the brick, so maybe that's meant to be.
There you go. I think it looks nice.
Thank you.
Laura, was there any public comment?
We do have one public comment for this item. It was from the trustees of the Topping Estate subdivision, and it will be attached to the minutes of this meeting.
And I think that comment was essentially about the porch and making sure it fit within the setback.
Yes, correct.
Correct.
I guess, Ryan, that if we give it an approval, we should give approval contingent on no variance and ensuring that all construction fits within the setback.
Yes, you could certainly do that.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
So we didn't do anything about that to make sure about the setback. Should we have that in that motion?
You can make that motion. I'll also tell you that as staff, I'm going to enforce it at the building permit
Okay.
stage. We're not going to issue a building permit if it's not shown to comply with the zoning. And then when we actually approve the building permit and they go to construction, we're going to verify in the field, which is actually more important, that it's located where it should be.
Okay. We know you will do your job, Ryan.
All right,
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. We're very excited.
Great. Well, welcome. Tell them.
All right,
Good night.
next up is another new residence at 13730 Bellcrest Court. Do we have a presenter for this project? Are they on mute?
Not sure if Bud Maselli is going to start or if he wants me to.
Bud, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm Eric Vietmeyer with Vols Engineering. Can you hear me? Here's Bud.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Frank.
Okay.
We can't see you very well, though.
Right. I don't know what's going on, but anyway.
Okay. You want to tell us about the house?
Can you hear me?
Bud, are you watching on YouTube as well?
I may be, Laura. What do I do to get rid of it?
Well, we're getting feedback from that, so you need to exit out of YouTube.
How do I get rid of YouTube?
Click when you're
What?
in the YouTube screen, click the X button at the top right-hand corner. Bud, are you watching on YouTube as well?
Yes, I am.
That was the feedback, Bud.
Close your browser. Yeah,
Yeah. Or mute YouTube.
there you go.
Okay.
Click when you're in the YouTube screen, click at the top right-hand corner. Bud, would you like Eric to explain the project?
We lost him.
He's lost. Eric, did you want to try?
All right. I'll do as much as I can. Like I said, Eric Vietmeyer with Vols Engineering, 10849 Indian Head Industrial Boulevard. We are the civil engineer for the project. So go easy on me on the architectural questions because I will have no answers. This is a new subdivision. So this is a new house on a newly platted lot. There's new water quality and detention basins for MSD. We did our very best to try to mimic the intended drainage areas as was shown on the Rehnquist plans for the subdivision. We think we have met those as best as we were able to with the geometry of the house and the slope of the ground and everything. That all being said, that means all stormwater requirements are being met with the subdivision plans and everything that was done for that. So no new stormwater management is being proposed by our plan. And I guess if you have any site questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those.
So you can't answer what architectural style the house is?
I'm a civil. I don't know an architectural shingle from architectural siding. So that's a bit of a stretch, but you get the idea. I could answer questions about storm and sanitary sewers until the cows come home. But as far as the actual style of the house, that I am not sure.
A question for the board. Do you feel that the drawings are self-explanatory? Do we need to postpone until we can get the architect on board, or?
I'm pulling up the architectural. I'm trying to pull up the
I'll say for myself that the house is pretty straightforward, and the colored renderings are pretty clear to me on what we would expect the house to look like.
Yeah, plans up now. It's all stone from grade to eave. So that's, there's no question of percent of materials on all of that. Looks like they get, good number of windows on the front, a lot of windows on the back.
Eric, thank you.
I'm trying.
Thanks for trying. Yes.
Ryan knows my work. He knows I'm not a house guy. So
I'll give you an A for effort tonight on that.
thank you very much.
And maybe someone in the group can answer. There's an overhang. Is that in the back of the house? It's not in the front of the house.
The covered porch?
Oh, it's a covered porch.
Yeah, there's a covered porch on the back.
Just seems like it goes out on that side view. It goes out so much further, but.
That's a considerable.
If you look at the rear elevation, it should be right where the chimney is.
Correct.
That's projecting out.
So, and that is that grade right there.
Yeah.
That's okay with the porch? Because I'm looking on the right side elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a pretty steep hill? I mean, is there?
Or is it a retaining wall?
Yeah, there's a retaining wall next to that outdoor room so that we're able to get a walkout basement.
I see.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes,
we can.
What?
Yes, Bud, we can.
So with regards to that retaining wall, is there some sort of safety barrier that's going to be placed, and how steep is that retaining wall?
Let's see, retaining wall is
probably a full.
Retaining wall is about 9 feet tall at the house. So being that it's near the outdoor room, I would assume code will require some kind of fall protection. And usually that's an architectural feature. So Bud will probably be working that out with his architect when it comes time for picking those materials.
I believe the building code requires either a fence or a 5-foot buffer of landscaping from the top of the retaining wall to stop people from.
Yeah, and we don't have 5 feet, so.
Right.
Am I on or not?
Yes,
Bud.
Laura, am I on yet?
Yes, Bud, you're here. Can you hear us?
I can. The YouTube thing just blew me away. I apologize. Unfortunately, Tim Hollerbach had something else to do tonight. He was going to do this meeting and he couldn't make it. Before I forget, I want to say that we have trustees' approval of this project, 1.583 acres, 4 areas, 5961 square feet. It's 8.65%. The green space is 60,680 or 88%. The roof is architectural shingles, certainty colonial slate. The gutters are white. The stone is limestone. The trim is white. The Anderson 100 windows are white, and the garage door is white. There are 50+ trees on the site, and we are not removing any of the trees that exist on the site other than what's already been removed. Demolition is not applicable on this project. And if you go to the material sheet, it's the stone is obvious, and it's a Richards brick, Myrtle sand modular gray brick. And it has a picture of the black and gray roof that'll be going on it. Eric already went over the site plan with you, and so I'm not going to bother you with that. Going to the front elevation, there is some stone around the entryway, and the balance is the Richards brick I talked about. That's limestone trim around the windows, and each one of the dormers will have a metal roof on top. It's, I think, a very interesting elevation in that it's hip and gables. That's the front elevation. Going to the rear elevation, you can see it has a covered porch with a fireplace, bay window. It's full brick all the way up to the frieze board. And the little,
So
pardon me?
Bud, can we go back to the screen and porch?
Yes,
Because
it's
we're
not a screened in porch. Did I say that? It's a covered porch.
covered porch. Well, Holly brought up too, you've got a pretty big elevation there. On the, dropping down to the lower level. So how are you going to address that on, because it's 9 feet, we thought, we were told?
9 feet?
Yes.
9 feet. No, you mean 9 feet, a 9-foot pour, or what do you say?
The retaining wall is 9 feet at the face of the house.
Yes. Well,
are you gonna have a railing there or some sort of a balustrade for?
yeah, they're showing a landscape. They're showing landscape bushes, but I would imagine we will have to have a rail, but right now it's just showing landscape bushes. You can see the little bushes that will.
But that's a big, being 9 feet, that's scary. I think we all agree something has to be addressed.
We can do a setback. We can do a 9-foot wall. We can go up 4 feet, setback 4 feet, and then we have some grade of about 6 inches, and then we go up another 4 feet and another 6 inches of grade to make up the 9 feet. And it may eliminate one of those windows. I was trying to keep it, the windows stacked on top of each other, but it would probably eliminate the lower window. The one to the right of the French
window looks nice though. I
like
the idea of
to the right of the French doors, that will eliminate that window.
Wouldn't it be easier to just add a railing along that,
right.
That edge?
I could add a railing. That's fine.
Right. I think the window on both sides are very symmetrical and they look nice. So
that's why we did it that way.
Right. I think the railing would be sufficient and much easier.
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
So the only trim on the home is below the bay window, and the gable above the covered porch is hardy board. It's hardy stucco board. And going to the right side elevation, all brick again. And the left side elevation, the only thing I see wrong is the garage doors are going to be white. The only thing that's a different color than white and gray is the front door is going to be a natural wood front door. And I don't know, did you want to go over the floor plans?
No, the floor plans, that's not required.
And the last exhibit is the pictures of the property. And of course, there's nothing on either side of it right now. are across the street, and that's why you're just seeing pretty much dirt at this point. Did you have any questions that?
Just one, I'm going back to the porch, but it's not screened in, correct? So is it, are you putting cement? Is it a cement porch? Are you gonna do like a kitchen?
It's a patio, yes. It's a cement porch, cement floor.
Okay. Are they thinking about doing a kitchen, or is it just
Not at this time. You know, if we have changes to this plan as we go along, and the owner wants to expand on something, then I'll bring it back to the ARB.
Okay.
I think the only thing I find peculiar is that notch in the roof line on the right elevation.
All right, let me get back to the right elevation. Right side. Okay,
Right
what are you
side.
saying now?
There's that notch. I mean, there's a notch in the building, but then the notch carried through the roof line, and it seems.
Is that one of the dormers?
You mean the shadow line?
No. If you follow the roof, if you look at the roof,
Yes.
right along the gutter line of the roof on the,
Yes.
you know, it notches back, and at least in elevation, it just appears.
It's an offset, and that's why you have the shadow, the gray shadow to the right.
Right, I understand. It's just.
What's the sloping like off the back side near the chimney of that porch?
It follows the main roof sloping. The roof slope doesn't
I mean, the
change.
ground, I mean.
Pardon me?
Oh, you've got the ground is what I'm referring to. How does it slope behind where that fireplace sits off that covered porch?
We actually have
you've got the 9-foot drop there. So how does that slope on the back side?
Eric, did you want to address that, or are you?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Right off of the out-covered porch, we have a gentle slope that will go out for about 10 feet before we go to a 3-to-1. So we have an area where, you know, a toddler's not going to stumble and fall down the hill, or if you've had one too many cocktails, we have a, you know, gentle slope off of the covered porch before we get to anything steeper.
Any other questions or comment?
No.
Laura, was there any public comment?
No, we've received no public comment in regards to this project.
All right, based on that, would anyone like to make a motion?
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Well, thank you, Bud. Thank you for dealing with our technology.
I want to apologize totally I was trying to watch on YouTube to see what I was going to be on, and then I couldn't get rid of it.
Well, I'm glad it got worked out. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, next up is another new resident at 1914 Carlin Drive. Do we have a presenter for that one?
Yes, I'm the presenter, Alex Bartlesmeyer. I'm with McKelvey Homes, the builder for the house at 1914 Carlin Drive.
Great, what can you tell us about it?
All right, yes, it's so the house is a 1.5 story plan, just shy of 4,400 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's a 4-car side entry garage. Also is included a covered deck with stairs and a at least partially walkout basement, close to a full walkout basement. As for the elevations, for the most part, it's traditional in style. It is mostly brick with stone accent throughout on all 4 sides. There's also additional hardy siding just to fill in the spots where it wasn't possible to get any masonry. We're looking at a darker charcoal colored roof, architectural shingles. We're doing 2-tone windows with black exterior, and the trim throughout will be white. All right, that's it.
Thank you.
I guess the drawings where at least on my drawing, it looks like it's siding. It's actually brick. The vertical elements don't show up.
There's no vertical, it's horizontal, the siding, and it's really only sparsely used throughout, mostly in front elevation. It's used just kind of over the front garage, kind of really where places where it's not possible to easily get masonry up there. But
yeah, I think it's just the way it appears in the PDF that I'm looking at.
Okay.
Right. They're labeled off to the side. I had to go and look at the numbers where it says brick veneer, so it was a little confusing.
I think it looks like a good house. I don't have any comments.
Appreciate you keeping as many trees, it seems like, and the ones that you're removing, make sense of removing.
Yeah, we're trying to keep as many trees as possible. So
Thank you.
So how did you get a house? You have trustee approval in Thornhill?
we have notified the trustees, but we don't have approval yet because they are apparently in the middle of voting in new trustees. So I've asked them for a time frame and I haven't gotten anything from them. So
Usually there's a lot of objection there if it's not red brick with shutters. So,
Thank you for that.
How come you haven't approved trustees, Lou?
Later this month.
Oh. Are you on the docket?
I've done my time, thank you.
any other questions about the house? Laura, was there any public comment?
No, we've received none regarding this project.
All right. Based on that, would someone like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve. It's a nice house.
Is there a
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Alex.
thank you all.
All right, moving right along. We have a new residence at 11 Brookmill Lane. Is there a presenter?
The presenter, Rob Geary. It's actually an addition on the rear of the building. It's a kitchen addition with a covered patio that isn't visible from the street. We're matching all existing materials, and the only thing that we're changing per the Board of Trustees of the neighborhood is that the little bit of vinyl siding that shows up underneath the covered patio at the peak of the roof, going from vinyl to James Hardy lap siding.
Okay, so the addition is just that small covered portion?
It's the kitchen bump out and that covered patio in the rear.
All right. Any comments, discussion?
It's nice to see a ranch again that we're remodeling and bringing updated. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Many people want ranches in town and country now.
All right. Hearing no other discussion, Laura, were there any public comments?
We did receive one public comment in regards to this project from a neighbor. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, probably Castor Ernesto, and it will be made part of the minutes of this meeting.
All right. And if I remember, that was a in favor of the project.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So based on that, do we hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. None. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. So pretty house.
All right, coming near the end. Laura, was this like our record for the number of projects to look at?
I do believe it was.
Welcome, Holly.
Thank you.
Last project, a new residence at 23 Roclair Lane. Do we ever present for that one?
Yes. Am I on?
You're on. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, this is Bill Kemp with Kemp Homes. Does everyone have a copy of the packet?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties with my computer freezing, so I'm not able to share my screen, but I'll just go right through it. We're proposing a 4,200 square foot ranch home at 23 Roclair Lane. It is on about an acre, little over an acre lot. We are within the 75% green space requirements with the pool that's shown on the site plan. Rather than go through all the materials listed on page 2, there are picture of all those materials on page 3 and 4. There is some distortion, I apologize for, in the way the renderings later on in the packet show the colors. So those are intended to give you an idea of the way they're supposed to look. Just a few things to note. There is the tree preservation plan that was done. One tree put us over the minimum 50% requirement, and that was tree G, noted on page L3. And we're going to be able to keep that after all. So we'll be within that minimum requirement. Proceeding on to the color renderings on pages A3. We're using a combination of stone and brick for the masonry and James Hardy batten board siding and lap siding. And that continues on all 3 sides, as you can see from the photos, or the elevations, I'm sorry. And that's all I have. Any questions?
You know, I'll say I think the house is pretty straightforward. And the photos of similar houses with the same materials really helps.
I think so. It's so hard to tell by.
Kind of a broken record tonight, but I'm happy to see a new ranch being built.
Yeah, they're making a comeback.
I think people are really wanting them now. I mean, especially people that would like to stay in the town and country growing
Yes.
older.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Personally, I like the putting green myself, but
Yeah, too. That gave me an idea for my basement.
all right. Any other comments, questions, discussion?
Nice house.
Laura, was there any public comment?
No, we've received no public comment.
All right. In that case, would someone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bill, thanks for joining us.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All right, that takes us to the end of our houses. Do we have any other business?
No, other than we will have a meeting next month. The items keep flowing in, so probably another large agenda.
It's amazing how many houses are getting built.
No. Well, the new additions and, accessory buildings is adding on to it.
I guess people can get their materials. They're starting to come in better.
Maybe by the time they're ready to build, they'll be cheaper. All right, so based on that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Holly, welcome. This is, I set the bar low for you to improve on.